I want to talk to you a little bit about what it's like working with Ford as a Ford Bronco ambassador. This all started many years ago. I was living in Virginia and I was doing my first cross-country adventure overland trip. It was about 4 or 5 years ago. And during that time, there weren't a lot of events. The racetracks weren't really open. And the only time I could really go do stuff was outside, away from everybody, camping, hiking. I was like, well, how can I make content around what I'm doing, but still like include cars? So I wanted to do an off-road road trip, mountain biking, camping, excursion, expedition. And I went with my friend. We had a Land Rover that actually broke halfway through, but I ended up having so much fun doing that I wanted to get my own car and start doing that type of, not just content, but just doing that kind of stuff. And on that trip, I remember being in Utah. The Land Rover had broken down and I was in the hotel and I actually ordered a brand new Ford Bronco. Knowing that I wanted a vehicle to do this, the Bronco had just come out. And in my mind, I was like, dude, it's a win-win. Like I get to have a new vehicle that hasn't been around for a while, make new content around the new vehicle, and do all this cool outdoor adventure stuff. And so I got in contact with somebody on the Ford side. They helped me get my Bronco because I waited 1.5 years for it. Everybody had to wait forever for their cars then, but it was well worth the wait. It came off the assembly line and I went to go pick it up. So in between that 1.5 years after that road trip expedition, I had actually moved from Virginia to Colorado, then Colorado to Utah. So I was living in Utah, finally got to get my new Ford Bronco. And the first thing I did was do a road trip from Virginia to Utah and that is when everything began. And I wanted to be more part of that and to do something that was a little bit different than the high-speed drifting racing that I do normally. And to get myself out of the garage, come on now. I gotta go touch some grass every once in a while. So when it comes to working with large brands, usually the larger the brand, the more difficult it can be to work with. And a lot of times these larger brands have so many rules, restrictions, and guidelines that it can take away a lot of the creative freedom that I have to create content. But with Ford, that's not the case. It's seamless. The team actually listens. There's great communication. Everybody's on the same page. I have brought up things that I wanted to do here and there, and they've been like, hey, like this is an opportunity. We remember you said this, so why don't you go participate in this? Another amazing opportunity like that was going to the Rally Day Rock and seeing the Raptor T1 Plus because that is such an insane machine and that was an amazing experience. Getting the Bronco opened up so many new adventures experiences for me and I do truly love the Bronco. If I was not working with Ford, I would still buy one. Honestly, it's been amazing and my blue Bronco has had so many miles, so many adventures on it and it is time to upgrade. We are off to Michigan to pick up a brand new Ford Bronco BADLANDS. We just landed in Detroit and we're heading straight to the Ford World Headquarters. I'm picking up a new car today. I'll be linking up with the Ambassador Marketing Manager, who is basically the person that oversees everything I do as an ambassador, and then the new car. So Uber dropped us off here, I think on the wrong side of the building, but it was really cool driving up here, going on Michigan Avenue, and you just see this big corporate building with the good old iconic blue oval Ford logo. And Amy said that she's driving a car over here. We'll see. I love your rig.
I know, right?
And how your glasses are matching. It has 103 miles on it. Yeah. Only 103.
Yeah, 100.
This is my 2024 Bronco BADLANDS with the Sasquatch package, which in my opinion is the supreme Bronco choice if you're not getting the Bronco Raptor. So my 2023 Bronco, I put so many miles on it. I figured new year, new Bronco, it only made sense to trade it in. And we have the 2024 Bronco BADLANDS. Now the biggest change that I'm excited to try out from a 2023 to 2024 is that the suspension. You have the Haas 2.0 upgrading to the Haas 3.0. So I am very excited to take this out on trails and adventures and to try it out. It is a clean slate, no scratches, no dirt, no accessories, nothing on it. It's begging and waiting for some adventures and off-roading to be had. And I am at Ford World headquarters picking up my brand new car. This is kind of surreal. It still hasn't really hit me yet, but I kind of can't believe I'm here. So now that we have our new Bronco, we are leaving the Bronco World headquarters and we are gonna head to Michigan Central Station, where they've redone it and there's a lot of history there, and I want to go ahead and really experience some of that because I've been to Michigan, I've been to Detroit, but never really looked into the history of this city and Ford itself. So I figured, why not go while we're out here and have a trip of it. We got some sweet swag. We got this really cool blue Ford hoodie. It was really, really cool to see the museum, honestly, like seeing all the history and all of the ways that Henry Ford impacted what we have today. It's interesting, the more cars that I touch and I learn about, I realized that I kind of grew up with Fords. Growing up on the farm, like my parents just had trucks. That was their work trucks, that was their tow vehicles, and my family grew up on Fords and I grew up on Fords, and now that and not only beyond grateful to be working with Ford as an ambassador, and I don't really have words to explain how I feel besides I'm just full of gratitude and beyond grateful to be where I am today and to experience the museum and then picking up my new Bronco from Ford World headquarters. Like, still hasn't quite hit me yet. But we have a long road trip ahead of us. We got to drive from here to Utah, and it's gonna take a couple days to do that. Me and the new Bronco are gonna get very much so acquainted. But I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. I'm excited for the many adventures that I'm about to have in this Bronco. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.